Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name is Dutch.
My name is Jules.
Again, it's Dylan.
Again. Welcome to a special episode here of Curiosity Public where we're going to be discussing the bourbons that are in our collection that you can't buy. You guys ready for this?
Why?
Well, we'll get to that, but we went through our vast collection of whiskey and we decided, hey, let's take a look at some of the bourbons that you can't buy.
You cannot buy this.
You can't buy these.
I'm telling you.
Why? We'll get to that. Okay, so first one on the list, guys, none other than Heaven Hill bottled in bond. You might say, well, I can buy Heaven Hill bottled in bond, but can you buy the 6-year-old one? No, doesn't look like this. You can't buy that bottle anymore.
So
what do you remember about this?
So sad.
I remember being in Kentucky and buying a case of this and trying to find a way to get it back home with me. And then giving away like half the case as gifts.
Yeah,
And
because how much was it?
it's like $10.
Right.
I mean, or less sometimes. And it's 100 proof, 6-year-old whiskey. How do you get any better than that?
It was so beautiful because I was a recipient of one of those, and it was
I got one too.
amazing.
Like I gave it to everybody I knew for like Christmas gifts, and then I was like, "Oh man, I'm down to only a couple bottles left. Maybe I better just bunker these." And so
I just remember being blown away though that you were describing to us like, dude, they're selling these like at the 7-Elevens.
Yeah,
kind of
super
thing, right?
cheap.
Like at Walmart's everywhere.
And then, lo and behold, it disappears. They've come back with the 7-year bottled and bond that's available in lots of different markets. Soft spot for this one, guys. All right, pass this one down. Let's get on to our second bottle that you can't buy.
Can't buy it.
We should have saved this for last because this is the mic drop, but we're going to drop the mic pretty early in this episode. This is mic drop. Look at that. Mic drop bourbon, 8-year-old barrel proof. Mash bill there, Indiana MGP source. This is kind of one of those first sourced blends, and it has the entire makeup of the casks in there. That's 8-year-old so cool. Cask strength stuff. This was one of those first times that somebody had blended pretty decently aged MGP and just struck gold.
PM, right?
PM spirits, known for their cognacs and stuff like that, but
Cognacs and
knocked it out of the park with their very first bourbon. They've done some subsequent releases. I think like the second one was only like 100 bottles, so we never saw that. The third and fourth are younger MGP blends that I haven't been able to get my hands on, but nothing quite has lived up to this hype.
How many bottles for this one? Do we know?
It was a lot because there's a lot of casks.
I thought it was a lot, right?
And we were able to get it, and I kind of regret not picking up a backup because I had the opportunity to, and I just was like, it's at that point in time, I was just kind of like, there's a lot of other stuff on the market.
the glass topper.
The glass topper that Dylan did not know was closed, and he tried to pour it. Here, you want a little more? You need a little more?
Wait, doesn't it have a spinner in it? Can't you, like, press the... Oh my god, dude. The stopper's in it.
So folks, that's a bourbon guild first. The issue with the glass. But a great bourbon. What do you guys remember of it?
Yeah, I remember it. We're thinking that this was blended really well.
Yeah, surprised all of us. I remember.
Yeah, it was a shocker because it wasn't that old. It was 8-year-old, I think, and but we love the fact that it's cask strength.
Actually, got me excited because it's like, oh man, like a true master blending like offering, right? Like.
Yeah, it came out of left field also.
Right. Yeah, because you got to remember when we did this. Right. This was one of the reviews on the old channel. Like there wasn't tons of this stuff out there, and there were some companies that were doing MGP stuff, but a lot of them were single barrel. You didn't
not certainly have that offering.
Have the blends of this caliber and this proof really kind of out there. So, speaking of MGP and speaking of other brands that source MGP, the next one on our list is none other than Old Scout single barrel cask strength.
Wait, Dutch, aren't there Old Scouts out there?
There are, but you see how this one says it's aged 11 years, and you see that dark color on it? I mean, this bottle, I remember when we first, again, another one of those very vivid memories of us all tasting this and be like, holy crap, that is rich. There are flavors here that I have never really had in a bourbon before. It's something special.
Yeah.
And these used to be regular releases. I mean, Smooth Ambler would just kind of crank out these well-aged, cask-strength MGP barrels, and they were just getting the best of the best.
They were just knocking out of the park, man.
They had a relationship, right? And I think it was the darling of like the the whiskey community, which was much smaller back in the day.
Yeah.
And everybody, who knew about these releases, they coveted their release.
Yeah, I've been rationing that one for the past few years.
I know, man. Look at that.
Not a lot left.
It's awesome.
It's pretty special. All right, guys. Next up is easy guess. You could have guessed this was going to be on the list. Elijah Craig. With the big old 12 on the front.
Age stated. Come on.
So many memories of this, right, guys?
Yeah.
Because it was just so easy to get.
So easy to get on every store shelf.
And then
now
all of a sudden, poof.
Yeah, just disappeared.
Collecting dust.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This one we picked up in Prague, I believe. It's still got like the tax sticker there. No. So you can still sometimes find these overseas. I mean,
yeah.
But you can't buy this anymore, really. Yeah.
No, the clear memory from this was when we were in Prague and we were just looking up liquor stores. And like Dutch eagle-eyed from like the uploaded photo of someone describing or reviewing that liquor shop.
Google photos.
Yeah, and then like you zoom in, it's like, dude, I think they have Elijah Craig 12. And it's like, well, when was that post? It was like just a week ago.
Yeah.
And then we went there, boom, there were like how many? 3?
3 or 4 bottles, yep.
Amazing.
Did you buy it all?
We did.
We did,
right.
yeah.
We cleaned them out.
All right, guys, the final bourbon on our list of bourbons, the best bourbons that we have that you can't buy.
Can't buy it.
1792. Ridgemont Reserve. Ooh. Yeah, that bottle, you don't see that anymore, do you?
Woodford Reserve?
No, Ridgemont Reserve. Hey, man, there was a lawsuit over that. This one actually is a single barrel select. On the back, they actually had info on like the warehouse and all that stuff.
Man,
no age statement on this one, but this is one that I know we've gone back to this many times over the years and just been like, what the heck is going on with this?
Right.
Because it's not anything like the modern 1792.
Right.
No,
we included it in our drink through. You can check out that drink through.
Yeah.
We've tried all of those different, barrel picks that, I guess everybody says is honey barrels, right?
Everybody says their barrel's a honey barrel.
That's like your favorite descriptor.
Yeah, that's what I call everything. Every single bottle that is on the shelf, even like the regular Jack Daniels,
So,
honey barrel.
Honey
right?
barrel,
That's what we're supposed to say.
Interesting honey barrel.
Thank you, PR.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that honey barrel that PR has won out on, and honey barrel has been one of those commandeer terms.
And single barrel.
And single barrel, a huge marketing push that has been mind-blowing. All right, guys, so here you go. Here you have it. These are the barrels, the bottles.
Look at this is Dutch's OCD in action now. I know he was eyeing it the whole time.
You gotta get it centered, man. But these are the bottles in our collection, the bourbons that you can't buy anymore.
Can't buy it.
And why, Jules?
Because they're not available.
Okay, so
what a payoff.
yeah, here's the thing.
That's what it is.
I objected to this episode. Let me just say, because
what's the utility?
Yeah, what's the point? What's the point in this? So I'm going to ask you guys.
This is what we call peacocking.
Yeah, we didn't prep this.
It's called
so
clickbait.
I'm putting them on the spot. What I want to hear, I want you to tell me the modern alternative to all of these bottles that you can no longer buy. That is, obviously, it's not going to be as good as these things because we always reminisce about the past, and the past is always going to be rosy, right? Yeah. Even though it wasn't, that's how our mind works. So let's go down the line and give our kind of modern day recommendation.
Okay, so the first one, the obvious choice for the Heaven Hill there is the Heaven Hill 7-year. You've had them side by side. They're not the same. But it's close,
and the price point.
It's more expensive,
right?
But flavor profile wise, yeah, it is relatively close. It tastes like Heaven Hill. It's a year older, right?
Yeah, I think it's decent. It's just that I think our bigger objection was the price increase. Yes. But I think if you had that and you never had this, you still get the essence of the Heaven Hill
you get the recipe,
craftsmanship. The
essence.
So that would be good.
Yeah. All right, guys. Moving on to the mic drop. Cask strength, roughly 8 years old. I'm thinking of some of the MGP blends that are out there. The Remus stuff, obviously a good competitor. Similar price range as that mic drop. maybe even like Smoke Wagon, Uncut.
That's what I was gonna say.
Unfiltered. Yeah.
Smoke Wagon, Uncut, Unfiltered, Smoke Wagon, like the private barrels.
What I'll also say is, like, on the East Coast, there's other MGP sourcers that are blending good stuff. I know Penelope, people talk about. Pingree is another one that people talk about.
Right.
Just don't get them out here on the West Coast. But I think every region kind of has their MGP blender now.
Right.
And I think you find who that is. You get their high cask strength stuff. Hopefully they're using at least 8-year-old distillate. And you're going to get something kind of similar to what Mike Drop was.
That's right. That's right.
All right, moving on to the Smooth Ambler. Now we're talking single barrel MGP.
11-year at least.
11-year.
Yeah.
I know that stuff is out there. I haven't come across it recently. And when you come across it, it's just kind of like ridiculously priced. And that was what was nice about these. Is they
hard to find.
These were pretty easy to find back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best way I can kind of console somebody in these days is to think about like the 15-year releases that are above 100 proof. We've had the opportunity to try a lot of the Sam Houstons, the Calumets, the Doc Swinsons. They all come from different places. It's not necessarily MGP, but I feel like you're getting that strong, well-aged, rich releases. So I think in some cases, I think it would be better than this. So I think that, to me, that's an alternative.
They're different.
That's
what stands out from this one, I remember, is just how jam and like stewed fruit, like the fruits were just so interesting in it. And I don't know that I've had that very frequently. I mean, that 10 to 15-year-old MGP single barrel thing is, some of them are hitters.
You think like
not all of them.
Something like Belle Meade or
maybe. But there again, you're using a blend in their higher cask strength stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff out there, but nothing that was quite like what Smooth Amblers. And they're doing single barrels, like you said, like the 5-year. And maybe in the coming years, we'll see a resurgence of some of these, I hope.
I think the Remus 4, I think. Remus 5, not Remus 5, Remus 4, I think. More so. Yeah, because what happened was, like, I guess there was the relationship soured a little bit. Remember when they switched to Dickel, I think? And then they kind of lost out. It became very young. And then they're making their own stuff. I mean, they're releasing their own brand through the Remus. So, yeah, that would be the alternative. All
right, guys. Elijah Craig, 12-year. Anything else like this on the market?
Of course. Elijah Craig, 12.
No age stain.
No, take the cask strength.
Extra cask strength.
Maybe just add some water. There you go. Yeah. I mean, it's the same bones.
Right.
You know, it's smaller blends. It's higher proof, obviously. But a lot of what you get in here is just like if you were to proof down some of that 12-year cask strength.
But you lose, I would say, what you're missing is kind of the flowery component. This one has a very delicate flavor that so far, even like the really good Elijah Craig barrel proof releases, if you were to proof it down, you still don't get that. I just, I have these bottles too, and, I compare it, and it's
great blend.
Yeah, I think the barrel proof is a worthy successor.
Yeah. I think we've said it before. It's like we're pretty happy.
Yeah, we're pretty happy.
You get
about
3
that.
releases of the barrel proof, and we don't get this anymore. I accept that trade.
For sure.
I'd still like to have this though.
Yeah, for sure.
Because at the price point and and this on every shelf for like $35. I mean,
yeah,
$35 for the 1.75.
Yeah, that's right. The big ones.
1.75 liter.
Yeah, and it was a flavor bomb. Okay, guys, finally the 1792. I've racked my brain to try to figure out what really tastes like this because there's so much in the mouthfeel of this one and the velvety aspect of it. And you know what keeps coming to mind for me? Blanton's Gold. With that mouthfeel and the sweetness, it's more like that to me than the modern 1792 stuff.
You think that 1792 full proof, regular release, or even some of the single barrel that we've tried, it doesn't come close?
No, it doesn't come. It's just different. We did those in the drink through, and they're just different. There's an aspect to this, a flavor component to this that is just different. It doesn't have that spice hit that almost every other 1792 has. It has a different kind of velvety sweetness to it that you just don't find in the modern releases.
Gold, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
That's hard to get.
That is still very hard to get, but it is out there.
But it's out there,
and it's way more expensive, obviously, than this was. This was like a $25 bottle. I mean,
right.
My alternative pick is kind of the Doc Swinson release. I think you get
like
the higher proof, the 15-year. I guess the higher proof
oak, man.
and the sweetness.
I think that's closer to this. in a lot of ways.
Not really. I think this is the Elijah Craig barrel proof. I think what you're looking for, I get it. I mean, like when we tasted this, it had like a breadth of
That
flavor.
sweetness, man. The sweetness in the mouthfeel.
Paul Swenson has the sweetness too.
Yeah, that's true, but it has more oak.
I don't know about that.
Jules?
I got nothing.
All right, guys. Well, on that way to cap it off, Jules, why don't you take us out?
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below.
I still have no idea why we
A
filmed
fun
this.
one. Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. Let us know either way how you feel about this episode. Please subscribe to Curiosity Public for more videos from us. If you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private, which is our membership program here on YouTube. We are also on Patreon, and you can buy t-shirts as well. Links and oh yeah, you can't buy that one.
You can get this somewhere else.
But yeah, we have a podcast on all major podcast platforms out there. As always, stay safe, stay healthy,
Stay curious. I still don't know why we filmed this.
What a hater.
Haters gotta hate,
Hater.
man.
You want to show
all I
off?
ever do.
You show off?
People watch.
People want to see what's
It's
in
like
the bunker.
watching Cribs. You ain't never gonna live in it, but you want to see how they live.
People want to see the bottles.
All right.
They want to see unique bottles.
Whatever.
Maybe not. I don't care.